Yeah, and you can direct the answers to everybody now, right? There's 7 layers in the OSI model. And let's see, who can give me the layers? Someone come off of mute and give me the layers.
Um, would it be like presentation, session,
Yeah.
transport, network, data link, and physical?
Okay, so let's see, we've got most of them. Give those to me again, Chris. So presentation, session,
Transport,
transport,
network,
network,
data link,
data link,
and physical.
physical. Okay, so Chris missed one. Can someone throw which one that is in for me?
Which one?
Application.
Oh,
Application.
application.
Yeah,
I did miss
application.
application. I forgot about that one.
So application, presentation, session, transport, network, data link, physical. So how about this, you guys? The data link layer is divided into 2 sublayers. Who can tell me what the 2 sublayers are of the data link layer?
The data link has the logical, oh, it's the LLC and MAC layer, but logical, keep forgetting.
Yeah. So
I forgot.
it's the logical link, right? Logical control, logical link control,
There you go.
right? And then the MAC, the media access control, exactly right. Okay, so good job there. So then we asked what the PDUs were, right? Okay, so somebody give me the PDUs. Come off of the mute and give me the PDUs.
Is it application, transport, internet, network access?
Application trans. So you here, you just gave me the TCP/IP model.
Oh,
So let's see, give that to me again. Application,
uh, transport,
transport,
internet,
internetwork, yep,
and network.
and the network. So that's the TCP/IP model. And if you remember, the OSI model and the TCP/IP model, they do the same thing, right? They just, is that one's a little bit older, and so it wasn't broke down as granular. And as technology improved and we added more things, we needed to we took the OSI model so that we could make it more granular. All right, so how about still somebody giving me the PDUs?
For the P.
Oh,
Oh, go ahead.
okay. Uh, it's going to be data segment, packet, frame, and bits.
Data, segment, packet, frame, bits. Don't send pets for beer, right? Okay, so can somebody tell me what's the importance of the OSI model and the TCP/IP model? Like what's its value? What does it do for us in networking?
It kind of it lets us know how data is moving across the network. So by seeing it go from the physical, like how it moves through the data, and then from there how it moves up the layers, and then reaches the other person by going down those those layers, and then basically that's how the networks communicate.
Yeah. So I think that's like the OSI model and the TCP/I model gives us a description of the way data is moving through our networks. And at each layer, something different happens, right? And there's different protocols at each layer that functions, and there's different technology. Like at the physical layer, we have Ethernet. At the data link layer, we have switches. That's where the switch actually works. at the network layer, that's where we have routers. Okay, and what is a PDU? Like what, again, how does a PDU relate to the OSI model and the TCP/IP model?
The PDUs, they're kind of how data is read in layers, because not one day, like, how could I say, bits can't be read in a certain, like, the data link, because they have no way of, like, what was it, reading it, so it
Like the
puts it into a frame.
encoding?
Mhm.
Yes.
So it puts it into a frame where it can read it, and then it sends it to another location, which receives it as a packet, and then, or as packets, and then it kind of like chops it up so that way it could be sent to another area, and then from there, that's how they receive it.
Yeah, so if we think about like the OSI or the TCP/IP model, and again, let's say I'm at my computer and I'm typing away and I'm going to be delivering information to all of you, right? So the data, it's got to move from the application to the presentation to the session to the transport to the network to the data link to the physical layer. Well, it's all data, but you're absolutely right. Was that Luis answering?
Yeah.
Okay, you're absolutely right, Luis. Like at an individual layer, so like let's say we're at the transport layer. The transport layer, the data has to be packaged in a particular way so that the transport layer can read it and do anything with it. Same goes with like when it moves down to the network layer, right? It's data, it's just data, but the network layer has to have it packaged in a certain way so that it knows what to do with it. It picks up a header and it picks up a trailer. So the PDUs are what we call the data at a particular layer. That's all. So like at the application, presentation, and session layer, that's the actual, like we're typing something in, or I'm filming a picture, or I'm doing a web conference. So that's the data, right? And I want that data to move through the OSI model, cross over the physical layer, and get to you guys, right? I want you to see this video. I want you to see my PowerPoints. So the data gets packaged into the data, the PDU data. It moves down to the transport layer. And the transport layer is actually where everything's getting segmented. Now you remember we talked about everything already, everything being chopped up at the data link layer so that it can pick up the header and the trailer. Well, the transport layer is the layer that's actually doing the chopping. So then it moves it down. And so at the transport layer, it's called the segment because that is the name of the data at the transport layer. It gets moved to the network. Now the network, it's a new name. They call it the packet. It's still data, but a packet is the way that the network layer can read it because it picks up an IP address, a header, and a trailer. Okay, so it just keeps moving down, and at each layer, they call the data something different. Okay? All right, so any questions about that?